Hi guys. All right. So I got a new tarot deck. It's this one. It's the Dark Reflections by La Mucci. I'm super excited to bring it out. Um yeah, Steph, YouTube is kind of like that. They're stingy about like notifications sometimes. So I mean, what are we gonna do about it, right? Just a reminder, I am not doing how so and so feels or how so and so thinks. So just keep that in mind. All right. It has been a while since I've been with you guys. I don't know that I've used this on live. Maybe I have once or twice. This is my Citadel Oracle deck. I will be using this for our community read, or if you if you donate I will pull some oracle cards for you along with your tarot cards, depending on your question. Sometimes I pull more tarot, sometimes I pull a combo. Depends. All right, let's see what our community read is. We have the astronomer. This is discovery and augury. I'm not gonna lie, I went to school for numbers, so words, I'm Googling what that means. Oh, okay. A sign of what will happen in the future. It's like an omen. Interesting. Why didn't they just say omen? So, the astronomer, let's see what we have. So, this is the card that suggests you're in a complex situation and there are clues on how to navigate it coming from past experiences. So, I feel like this card is partially like look to the stars for guidance, but also look to like astronomy or astrology for guidance. And I really I appreciate this card right now personally, so I hope you guys do too. But it also invites us to let go of material needs, material concerns, things that are holding you back, and basically make sure you are trusting your gut. Sorry in advance, Luna is out of pocket, so she's probably gonna be. She has the after poop zoomies right now. Luna, let's see what else we have for our community. Ooh, let's see what this is. We have the aspirant. This is the card of ambition, diligence, and setbacks. Ooh, okay. So pairing that with the astronomer, how interesting. Let's see what the book says about the aspirant. Gotta find it first. It's like the first one in the whole book, so it's hard to find. um Okay, so the aspirant says don't fall into the same traps that you have been basically allowing yourself to fall into. Get out of those cycles, get off of that hamster wheel. So the aspirant is the child of fate and basically carries a great weight on their shoulders. So this card makes me feel like you have a lot of pressure on you right now. This period of time is really just a high pressure situation, which is kind of why we have that card here where it's like, you know, some things are out of our control. We put in all the work, we put in the time, we put in the research, we put in the networking, whatever that might look like. And sometimes you have to realize you just need to take a step back for your own well being and let things play out how they will before you set back into motion again. So let's pull one more card. These cards are very hard to shuffle because of their shape. One more card for the community, and then we will get started in the actual readings. One more card here. Here we go. So this is the priest. This is perseverance and faith. So I think this is basically bringing home what I was talking about before about how, you know, you put in the time, you put in the effort, whatever that might look like, and just have faith that, you know, things are working out how they will. So we have, let me see here, the priest. So this card is saying like there is like a light on at the end of the tunnel. You already have what you need to bring yourself happiness. You just have to have faith in everything that you've put out, and just know that you will be rewarded for that hard work. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, I think that overall, you know, whatever challenges that are being sent your way, whatever challenges you are facing, I think that there's an element of just sort of understanding that as long as you have put in the work, if you have put in the effort, if you have really put your best foot forward, just understand that things are working in the background. Let them work in the background. Sometimes you have to let things I'll just say marinate for a while, and you can take this period to sit and relax and just trust in the process. I think that a little bit of this comes with experience and understanding when you need to push a little and when you need to just back off and let things work how they're going to work. I know for me personally, it's very hard. I feel like I want to constantly push, especially when I have like certain goals in mind, or if I'm trying to like accelerate the pace of a situation, but that doesn't always work out for the best. So I think this is saying that reading was saying, it's okay to take a break. All right. So let me read who I have off in the queue. I have Ari, I have Anj, Chanel, Whimsically, and Kat. If you would like a more in-depth reading, you can use my tip links in the description. You can use my Kofi. Come on, Luna. You want to uppies? Come on. Yes. All right, let's get started. Up first, we have Ari. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Yes, Luna. So, guys, if you have anything fun planned for Spooky Month, let me know. For my channel, I'm gonna be doing more of like a thinning veil kind of challenge where I do some sort of ancestor work with tarot and oracle and journaling. So if you're into that, go ahead and well, you guys are already subscribed, but you can watch the first video. It's already up. Let me get this deck all nice and shuffled. Thank you for helping, Luna. I don't know why you sit here when you know you're scared of the shuffle. This new deck is my Spooky Month deck, so I'll be using this for the month of October. If you're on my Discord, I'm going to be using this for our monthly challenges as well. And if you're joining for our tarot story time, kind of like a build your own adventure type of thing, I'm going to be using this deck as well. So if you really enjoy it, check it out. Luna also co-signs that message. Okay. Thank you, Sil. And also check out A Life Full of Simplicity's channel. She is my lovely mod tonight. And she just released her upcoming releases video. So if you need a bad influence or a reason to buy stuff, go ahead and check out her video. All right, let's see if you're meant to meet your future spouse online or in person. All right, one more card. Sorry, just trying to get everything spaced out right here. True enabler stuff. It's a wonder I was successful in my low buy this year with Sil being my friend. Let's see. So we have the 8 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, and then the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like Leaning more so in person. I would say if it was online, I would expect to see more like some swords popping up because it's more of a like mental connection versus physical, which you see here in the pentacles, and then also kind of with the goodbye Luna, with the wands here. I will say though that I think that this is going to be something that pops up very suddenly for you with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a lot of movement and a lot of things are changing very quickly. And um Ari, some people might associate certain things with certain things, but I don't. I kind of go off of how things are connecting with each other. Um if it was the Eight of Wands and a bunch of swords, then yeah, probably. But because it's the Eight of Wands and a bunch of pentacles, pentacles are more the physical world. So they're the things that you're going to be doing in person and things that you're interacting with in person. Um, so I think this is more of a clarifier on how the situation is going to be progressing. So because that is how I see it. I see the Eight of Wands signifying that this is going to be something that happens in person, but very quickly. You might not even recognize it at first because of those constant, like, really fast situations that are going to be happening. Um, I think too that you it might be jumbled up with other people, more so disappointing people. So I feel like you're gonna go through a little bit of a disappointment, and then there's gonna be someone there standing behind you that, surprises you, that kinda pops up and helps you balance out that situation, and then it just kinda dawns on you like, "Hey, this person is really awesome. They're helping me level the situation out," and, kinda like that. I'll be honest, I don't really like pull like types of places or stuff like that. I'm not terribly good at that. But I can say that overall, maybe because you have so many pentacles, this could either be someone that you know from work, or it could be someone that is very, very close to your family. So it's one or the other here. Just by default, I try not to default to work stuff, but it does feel very much like a work situation, you know? It could be that too. If so it's funny you say that because the gym, a lot of people who go to the gym who are gym rats consider the gym their second home. So if that is something that applies to you, that actually makes a lot of sense, that's going on. But it could also be someone that works at the gym. So there's a lot of nuance that is going on here. But I think that too, if the gym is a place where you get the most balance, where you feel like you can really ground yourself, you can reset yourself, then perhaps that is what this is talking about with the two of pentacles here. Um, It could it could manifest in a lot of ways. I would say though that so pentacles can really manifest in so it's the physical, right? So it could be your home life, it could be your work life, it could be if you're into the gym, it could be your gym, your health, stuff like that. So I think I mean, overall, this is definitely going to be someone you're meeting in person, but I think it's going to be someone that is going to end up being entwined into the routine of your personal life. So it's going to be someone you run into that way. And I think that with the yeah, five of pentacles being in the middle of it, and this sort of almost this descriptive card of the Eight of Wands, I think that you might not realize it at first. It's going to be something that you realize over time. Pentacles is slower moving energy. So despite this, things are changing around you quickly, but you're starting to realize certain situations over time. As those different situations play out, it's starting to build, and you're starting to realize the full picture, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I always advocate going back to the gym and stuff like that. Yeah, Ari, that's kind of what I feel about this is like with this 5 of Pentacles, I think you'll be focused on the wrong things for a little bit, which is why things are going to be changing very quickly for you. Um, hold on, let me mute this. My cats are playing with the litter robot. So yeah, the thing about the 5 of Pentacles is that the people there are they're trying to push through on their own and they don't realize that they actually have someone that is a support system around them, someone that is has come into their life that's willing to help them out or be there for them. So I think that this is saying like, hey, you might be distracted with a lot of other things. It could be other relationships, it could be things at work, it could just be life things in general, nothing really specific, it's just things. um and then it'll take a while because of those distractions before you realize someone has come into your life that really helps stabilize you in a way, really makes you feel balanced, someone you can rely on, someone who's kind of always there for you, and someone who just overall has that sort of nice even keel kind of energy. So while things are kind of going, left and right for you, this way and that, you have someone there that's always going to be like that solid point in time. Let me change this timer. One sec. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. Alrighty, up next I have, let me go back to my queue. Anj, I have you up next. Thank you, Stefan Still. Ooh, I'm really liking this deck. It has a nice sort of. You're welcome. Mm, you know, I wish I won the lottery, but sometimes, our wishes don't always manifest as the things that are necessary in our lives right now. Just got to be patient with yourself. So after Anj, I have Chanel, Whimsically, and Cat. Close that. It might, especially as they release their other stuff, like their newer decks. I hope you guys can't hear Apollo in the background, like wiling out. All right. Anj, what do you mean? Oh, I see. Sorry. There we go. Let's see what kind of topics you should write about. Honestly, so before I pull some cards, just as a general tip of being a creative, you should write about what you're passionate about. So if I give you a reading and it says like, write some epic sci-fi thriller and you're not into sci-fi, then, don't do that. But let's see. Okay. Ooh, the light is a specialty card in this deck. Let's see what I'm gonna see what that says. So the light card, I'm going to start with that since it's at the center of your reading and I have to pull out the guidebook for it. Uh, so this is the card of inspiration, of insight, understanding, and transformation. Ooh, okay. So I think that this is saying that if you've been kind of thinking about some ideas, right? So these are your ideas here, and this is your advice here. That's what it kind of feels like. This is saying open yourself up to being a little flexible. So I did mention before, ultimately, you still have to be passionate about what you're writing because that comes across in your writing. Um, so with that in mind, you still have to realize like if you have an idea, sometimes you have to be a little flexible in how that idea ends up forming, right? So try not to be too rigid in this situation. On one side, we have the Seven of Swords, and the other side, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like the Seven of Swords is really a good indicator of like a story of maybe a little bit of mystery. Um, so the Seven of Swords traditionally is like the card of like uh cunning, sort of thievery. You kind of like hide things from people. So I feel like a nice solid mystery is really good in this instance where you can build up a little bit of wonder for the reader and then also you can build it in parts too, right? Where you have layers of mystery that are happening and you solve them over the span of different books. So then we have our Knight of Pentacles. And this kind of reminds me of like the detective who is kind of like seeking out the solution to the mystery, kind of has his eyes on the prize, pushing towards it, but it's slow and methodical. So I think that if you are into mysteries or if you like to write different kinds of mysteries or stuff like that, then maybe that is where you want to go with this. And then ultimately just be a little flexible. So like if your original idea was a little different, how can you throw in some mystery into that idea? So stuff like that. Um sorry, I'm reading the chat. Kat, that makes so much sense. Totally agree with you. That sometimes things feel right now, but it's not going to happen until a little later. And I personally find difficulty in that. So I totally understand if Ari also finds difficulty in that. Totally get it. But um let me see, what else did I get in this? I think that too, it would be really cool because we have a little bit of air energy here, a little bit of earth energy here. Anj, where you have a little bit of like a mental battle with the protagonist. I'll call them the protagonist in this situation, where they are um somehow part of the mystery, but they don't understand why, which is why they are slowly and methodically trying to solve it. um, but yeah, I think that hopefully that gives you what you're looking for. And also, I think too, if this is a good starting off point, sometimes as you're writing, things start to form into what it is that's truly going to be the final product. Come on, Luke. You can't be my problem child tonight. All right, Chanel, go ahead, put your question in the chat. If you guys are enjoying these readings and if you want to help with the so What do you mean you were thinking of personally stuff? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm sorry. But make sure you guys like this video, hit the subscribe button. Do you mean like personalities, like of your own characters and stuff? Okay, that's different than what you asked me. So, I would have asked a different question had I know that. Sorry. Um, Going off of the Knight of Pentacles, where is it here? Going off the Knight of Pentacles, this is, I would say if we're looking at the protagonist, this is someone who is driven by practicality, someone who is usually driven by, there's still a little bit of like that goal setting there, but they have this like determination, almost like this stubborn determination that can be a little annoying to other characters. Um, so if you're looking for the personality of like your main character, then I would say someone who is really grounded, someone who really does have their eyes on the goal. They have a passion, they have like ambition, but and maybe someone a little more youthful too, or at least gives off more of a youthful energy, not childlike, but more like young adult kind of age. So someone who might be wanting to break into the world of mystery and solve things, or someone who was just accidentally thrown into that and they need to slowly and methodically work their way out. Um, Based off of whatever goals they set, for example, the Knight of Pentacles is also, they can be a little stubborn and slow to move as well. So I don't know. In my gaming group, we use this term called analysis paralysis. So maybe there's someone who waffles over different ideas when too many decisions are thrown at them. And I'm sure we kind of all have those moments where we're just like, okay, I have too many options. I don't know what to decide. So maybe your character is kind of like that. All right. So I hope that helps. I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood the question. All right, Chanel. Let's see. So I'll just do your first question. What's coming towards you in love in the near future? Near future is an ambiguous term. So I am gonna go with over the, I would say by the end of this year. So over the next like 3 months. Let's see. You're welcome, Anj. Glad I could clarify. Let's see. Let's see. One more card. Okay, so you have the I'll put this here. We have the Two of Cups, Seven of Cups, and then the Knight of Swords. So I feel like you have this person, the Knight of Swords, coming toward you in a way where they want to form like a want to date. But the problem is over this time period, you're going to be presented with a few different options, and it's going to be up to you to determine who this Knight of Swords is. So I'm going to describe them to you. You can either write this down or just kind of file it away in the mental archives, however you like to do it. And then as you go through the next few months, you can process who that person might be. So the Knight of Swords, similar to the Knight of Pentacles that I was just talking about, or similar to all the knights, really. They are a person who's really passionate. Usually, when it comes to dating, they're much more bold than the other court cards. They're usually someone who's going to go up to you and talk to you and engage with you. And the Knight of Swords specifically wants to engage in a lot of like cerebral conversation, intellectual conversation. They really want to rely on like a lot of thoughtfulness there. So the Knight of Swords, though, can also be really um singularly focused. So sometimes the Knight of Swords can be that person who really just like once they get an idea in their head, it's really hard to break them out of it. And that person just has to rush towards that idea. And a lot of times planning does not go into it, stuff like that. So while they're really good at being bold and stepping forward and seeking out what they want, they can also be really impulsive. So knights themselves, just as a court card, gives off a lot of fiery energy, and then the swords gives off a lot of air energy. So while that can be very fueling and really fuel momentum to go forward, it can also be a little combustive, where they can be impulsive, a little thoughtless, not maliciously so, it's just that they are, like, working a mile a minute, and sometimes they tend to not think about the people around them. So, I would say that it's not malicious, it's just those people that I don't know, I don't I don't really enjoy these people totally, but, they're the kind of person that really, like, gives off very extrovert kind of energy where they really like to socialize. They like to go from person to person and really just work through the crowd kind of way, right? And when they like someone, I feel like they kind of suck them into their orbit. Uh, and ultimately, if your goal is just to connect with people, they're very good at connecting with people in a sense, like drawing them in, but maybe not connecting with any kind of depth, which is where I also think this 7 of Cups comes in. So it's both you and them, where there's a lot of different things around and a lot of different distractions. And when the Nine of Swords has a lot of different distractions, that can mean that they are from one thing to another. They don't mean it maliciously. They're just like the think of that golden retriever puppy that doesn't have enough of an attention span to actually put towards anything long term, you know? So I would say that maybe you have some fun things coming, but not long-term things coming. Not right now, not in the next few months, not what is it, October, November, December. Yeah. So not in the next 3 months, including this month of October, because still it's only the 5th, so I counted October. Um we have 2 cups here, so there is still the element of emotion. I think there will be some sort of emotional connection, but I think maybe it's just something fun for now. I wouldn't count it as anything long term. Steph, how did you forget? I literally posted my tip thing earlier. Still brings up a good point. We have 7 people watching. I need more likes, guys. You have to help me with the algorithm. Hey, Black Widow, welcome. Oops. Cat, so Streamlabs is really weird about their numbering. When you all join at once, you're given a number 1 through however many join at once. but as I work through the queue, the number goes down, if that makes sense. So when I started my live, you might have been 5th, but now because I've worked through 3 people, you're now 2nd. It's just the way Streamlabs does it. Whoops. Whimsically, I got your Cash App, so go ahead, put your question in the chat, and I'll decide after I do Whimsically's question, I'll decide whether I want to pull more tarot or do a combo of tarot oracle. Okay, Whimsically, let's see. Are you and S compatible? One more card. Come on. Here we go. I would say short answer, yes. Black Widow, do you want me to just send your message offline later then? I can do that. That's fine. So, short answer, yes, but not without a bit of work. So we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Hierophant. I love this Hierophant card, guys. Love it. And then we have the Fool, which I also love. Love this card. There's a few things that I feel like need to happen, right? So, and they're a little diametrically opposed to each other, in my opinion. So the Ace of Swords is what tells me this is a yes. The Ace of Swords is really the success victory card. This is where it's suggesting that there's a new journey ahead and there are some new beginnings that are happening. But we have the Hierophant, which is the center of the reading. Black Widow, that's totally fine. I'll just send it after I'm off of live in like 20 minutes. So the Hierophant suggests that you and S still have some learning to do. You still have some I guess I'll call it, you still have some cohesiveness that needs to happen between you guys. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's kind of like working through, knowing their likes and dislikes, them learning your likes and dislikes. So this is, I feel like personally, a natural progression of a relationship, right? So you go through this phase where you meet someone and you discern whether you think that it's worth the effort or not. Like, are you guys compatible? Do you think that there's anything worthwhile to putting the effort in? And if you decide yes, which we see in this Ace of Swords, what can you learn about this person? What more can you learn? What in depth can you learn? The Hierophant also suggests a little bit of, I feel like you'll have to let me know whimsically. Are you and S very new to each other? Because if not, it could suggest the thought of counseling, but I don't think that that's where this is, honestly. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. But I think that more so for how I feel about UNS, it feels more so like this is the learning phase. You guys are in that period where you are learning each other, and you should probably sit here for a while. And then once you get that spark where you realize like, oh, this person is really awesome. I really like them. That's where the Fool comes in. This is your leap of faith where you jump in and okay, so he's not new, but you don't know much about him. So learning about him is new. So I will say that the therapy thing is not applicable to this. This is more so of just a learning journey. Once you get to that point where you feel like you guys understand each other a bit, this is where you take that leap of faith and start something. So you have two beginning cards here. The Ace of Swords is more so of a thoughtful beginning where you start to really think through how things could play out and, blase, blase. And then the Fool card is actually the start of the more impactful journey. So if you're hoping that this manifests into a relationship later, the Fool card is a really good indication that that could be happening. You just have to go through that period of, you know, learning each other. So, yes, check out my Discord, guys. I'm going to be doing my tarot story time. It is going to be spooky edition. It's you're going to have to figure out how to escape the haunted house without getting trapped in it forever. You're welcome, Whimsically. Oh, I'm sorry. I pressed your name. I thought twice. I don't know. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. Cat Goddess, you are up next. And then Luke, I will be finishing up with you. What does spooky month have for you? Let's see what the rest of this October has in store for you, Cat. We have the Four of Swords, Five of Cups, and then the King of Swords. I feel like October is going to be the month where you really discover how to heal from like past disappointments, where you've had some issues or losses in the past. I flipped this card because it felt like it should be flipped. So I do that sometimes when I read my only upright decks, just for visualization for you guys. So the core of this, I feel like, is really about healing and raising your hopes that as things start to get better and progress. Part of that is going to require you to follow suit with this Four of Swords here. Four of Swords means you need some rest. This is if you have the chance, take a vacation or just take a break from whatever it is you have going on. This is so you can allow yourself to heal and recover. See, so both of these cards together has that air of recovering. The King of Swords, I would say the King of Swords is that mentality that you should take for the month of October. So the King of Swords is the kings in general are the leaders of tarot. They're some of the leaders of tarot. They're the wise ones. They rely on their intellect, their understanding of the world around them. So the King of Swords specifically, because swords embodies that air energy, kings embody that air energy. There's a lot of wisdom that is happening here. So if you have not been trusting in yourself, if you've not been allowing yourself to rely on the wisdom that you have, October is going to be the period where you start to trust yourself in that. And I think that's going to come from this period of like just recovery where you allow yourself to take a break from the stressors that are happening around you, and you realize like, okay, I kind of have a handle on this. I understand what I want this to look like or where I want to go next. The king is the visionary. They see what their kingdom is, what it should look like, and they are the leaders that make it happen. So I feel like in October, you really need to take a bit of time to step into your king era where you give yourself a break or a chance to slow down, give yourself a chance to heal and reflect a little bit and understand the situation around you so you can put your best step forward. So October feels like a much slower month for you, but also very active. So swords still have a lot of that movement, but at the heart of things, you're slowing things down here with the cups and with the four too. I'm almost done. Apollo is very upset that other people have my attention. I like this four of swords too. Because one of my buddies gets the Four of Swords a lot as a stalker card, and it's almost like the person is clawing to get out of, you know, clawing to get up, and they're refusing to rest, that kind of thing. So it reminds me of my friend. I know Apollo. Well, first Luna started, and now Apollo is like, bro, I'm over it. He wants to get up so bad, but he won't sit on my lap. He wants to like lay on the desk. And obviously, you know. All right, Luke, you are last but not least. I'm going to go ahead and close my queue. I feel like someone said hi and I missed it. Oh, hi, Vibe Earth. Thank you. Divine day to you as well. Okay. Steph is ruthless. General spirit guide reading. Let's see. General spirit guide reading for Luke. All right. Okay, one more. We have Six of Swords, Queen of Swords, and Three of Cups. I'm not surprised you got swords, honestly. I feel like this is really a thought journey for you. We were kind of talking about it earlier, but I think I'll just go in order for now. So, Six of Swords. The Six of Swords really is about moving on and trying to leave baggage behind. And um I think that is probably a good theme for you overall. Like if you were to take away anything, is what baggage can you leave behind? And I don't think it's physical baggage, it's more so mental because we have swords here, right? With the Queen of Swords, this is where I think this is saying like try to embody the Queen of Swords, where you are both nurturing. There's a balance between being nurturing but also thoughtful, and understanding that there's a time and place for both. The queens are really understanding of how to nurture the outside world, but then the swords are good at the internal. So there needs to be a balance between the two of that, between that water and air energy that's happening. The good thing about the Queen of Swords is that she recognizes that if she's nurturing something that is not benefiting her, she needs to stop doing that and cut it out. So I know we I know we kind of talked about this earlier, but sometimes it is extremely beneficial to cut off a bad appendage, meaning things that are not serving you very well. And when you do that, when you open yourself up to cutting off the things that just are not working out, they're dragging you down, you open yourself up to the being able to accept the true, like, 3 of cups. This is where you can celebrate real friendships, real connections, and you can just sort of relax into them. Everything starts to become very easy, and it starts to help with that, like, healing process when it comes to how you um deal with emotional connections. And I mean that more so platonically, I would say, before I mean it romantically. The thing about threes, I will say, is that three suggests this level of cooperation, which requires a level of trust, which is hard to do if you don't know how to discern the good things in your life from the bad things in your life. Or if you can discern it, but you're not willing to get rid of the bad things. So if you are wanting to have those successful connections, that successful collaboration, the work with other people around you or just whatever, you know, trust, I hardly know her. You need to really embrace this Queen of Swords energy. So if I were to surmise everything that one major theme or suggestion or advice from your guides is to embrace the Queen of Swords right now. Just in this very moment, this could change based off of our needs and how the world is evolving around us, but ultimately right now this is what you need. You guys are so funny. I love the Spider-Man pointing meme. Hmm, I don't think there is I don't know, I felt like this was very gentle. It might have been on the nose, but I felt it was very gentle. Yeah, discern the green flags from the red flags, Luke. I forgot that the Queen of Swords is your favorite. Obviously, I like the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, so Queen of Swords is fine. Alright. Hopefully that helps you, Luke. I am gonna wrap it up. You were my last person in queue, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my paid reading outside of the live. But again, if you guys would like to join me on Discord, here is my Discord. And remember, I do sell my readings on Kofi. So here is my Kofi. Streamlabs is being extremely slow today, so sorry. But as Steph said, make sure you like this video. I really appreciate it when you do. And you guys have a really good night. So I will see you on the flip side.